okay, guys, we wanted to make sure that you had something on Labor Day. And that is, frankly, in my view, a very good story, although there's some mixed reactions to it. Let's put it up there on the screen, which is that breaking news that happened over the weekend. Purdue Pharmaceuticals is going to be dissolved, and the Sackler family is going to have to pay $4.5 billion to settle opioid claims. So that ruling in bankruptcy court, this is it. It's over. It caps the long legal battle over the company itself, who fueled the opioid epidemic knowingly in some cases, and the family that owns it, the Sackler family, who of course tried to buy their way into respectable company by funding the Met Museum and a lot of other different places. This is very important for two reasons. Number one, yes, they have paid $4.5 billion. They will pay it in installments over roughly 9 years. Those payments and the profits of a new drug from the company will go towards addiction treatment and prevention treatment across the country. That is a good thing. That being said, at the end of the day, and the judge in the case itself pointed this out, he said, quote, "This is a bitter result." Bitter, explaining that so much Sackler money was parked offshore in accounts, he said he expected and had wished for a higher settlement. And what that points to is both the culpability of the Sackler family itself, of the fact that they tried to use all of their political connections in order to get off as free as they possibly could here. And Marshall, I don't think there's any illusion that they will remain billionaires after this is done, that their company that they formed, yes, it has been dissolved, but they still profited. And ultimately, while they did have to admit some culpability in fueling the opioid crisis and the deaths of quite literally hundreds of thousands of people here in the United States, that they are definitely going to get away with this. And the point I want to get your thoughts on in particular is where a lot of people are upset. Let's put this next tear sheet up on the screen, that they will now have immunity from remaining lawsuits. So part of the deal here was, okay, we pay $4.5 billion, and now nobody can sue us in perpetuity over this. This is it. It's over. It's settled. There's not a lot of closure for some of the victims here. Some people feel that the penalty should have been much higher. What do you think?
Yeah, there's two different tensions here. One is, I don't think we're a sadomasochistic country. There is enough. There is a point where things are enough. But for most people, and we got so much feedback on this on Reddit, on Twitter, this is clearly not it.
Right.
If they're still billionaires, then they weren't screaming uncle yet. This isn't about like some notion of like mercy or stoppage, like or being opposed to gratuitous. It's just they're still billionaires. And given the stock market, I mean, they could just park money different places and get back within a generation. So it's that real factor here. It feels as if this wasn't enough. And if immunity had come at a point where they were actually broken as a unit, that would feel more fair for people. Because, you know, losing 40 to 45% of your fortune, what does that mean? Like, and yes, like, it's true that, actually, answer this for me. Like, where does their reputation stand, like, as a family? So I know everyone caught them trying to buy back their reputation, but are they going to have all the monuments taken down? Are the names going to go down?
Oh, well, so I think the Met did remove their name for the Met, but again, that's there. But, you know, in terms of look, it doesn't take that long. You have billions of dollars, there are people out there, and they'll take it. 10 years from now, they'll probably take it. And that, I think, is part of it. Maybe somebody will change their name and then it's over, right? And who the hell cares what the check is whenever you're talking about some art or orchestra philanthropy or whatever. I think they'll probably buy their way back into New York polite society within, like you said, a generation. That's all it really takes for these people. And I do want to underscore that this immunity part was a key thing in this Sackler's settlement. So we had covered previously, Krystal and I, their push for immunity, David Sackler, and kind of the threats that he was making. And it's been pretty clear now for over a month that they were going to get it. And I think that really what we have to do is just channel what the judge said. He's like, you people are parking your money offshore. Settlement should have been much higher. Also, Marshall, they have 9 years to pay it, okay? It's not like they have to wire transfer it all right now, 9 whole years. So what are they gonna do in the interim? They can actually hold that money, just put it in the stock market, off the dividends from that alone, they could live like kings for years, right? So really what it is that they got away with basically murder. And look, I know it's a controversial statement, but everything that has come out from how this company conducted itself, from knowingly pushing these types of drugs, from not only knowingly, but covering up the evidence of addiction, of pushing it even when they knew in order to make money, of manipulating the medical system, that is as bad as it gets in terms of their behavior as a company, and you shouldn't be able to get away with this. It's like what you're saying. I think people would probably be fine. If they were, 10 billion, right? It's like what happened with OJ, where they were like, for the rest of your life, you have to pay whatever, which I support, by the way, on that one.
To be clear,
yeah, which I'm 100%.
He also did it, so we're gonna be very clear.
Yeah,
with OJ.
I am allegedly for OJ's lawyers. Okay, so all of that being said, this is clearly not justice, and I think that is the part that really, really makes me mad, which is there are a lot of people who are dead and whose families were ruined because think about how many well-meaning people had back pain. And their doctor prescribed them opioids, and then 2 years later, they're strung out on black tar heroin. Like that's a direct responsibility. That's a direct response to the behavior of this company.
Yeah, I just want to quickly preview tomorrow's realignment episode because it speaks direct to this. We have Ben Mesrick. He is the author of The Antisocial Network, Bitcoin Billionaires, the book that inspired the social network. And he made this really interesting point about why people, especially in game stocks, have deep hatred towards financial elites. It's that it doesn't seem like there's any actual serious financial consequence to failure.
Right.
In the sense that if you're a homeowner who got behind in your mortgage payments after 2008, like you're done. And maybe all you owe is $50,000. You're wrecked over that amount. But if you're a billionaire family that didn't just screw up in terms of housing, but literally killed people, you lose like 30% of your fortune. Right. And then that's sort of inconvenient, and yeah, maybe you're going to want to change your daughter's last name so she can get into the proper grammar school, but it's never actually a real consequence, and that it's just really this gap in money that it's just crazy when we get into it, of course.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's a travesty. We'll continue to follow this story, guys, but unfortunately, I think this might be the end to it. And you guys should check out that GameStop episode with Ben Mesrick on the realignment. Really, really enjoyed it. Okay, all right, we will see you all tomorrow.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it, you get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.